Thanks.
So, this meeting is being recorded.
All right.
All right.
So this is Fit as a Fiddle Plus, and I'm Kathy Benner. I'm a passive income coach, and I have the Kathy Benner International Academy, and one of my lanes is trying to just be healthy in all things, because I truly believe that health comes before wealth. What good is it if you work all your life to make money and then you spend all your money to try to get your health back, as so many of us do?
True.
And so you've got to get your health on the list. It doesn't have to be at the top of the list every single day, but it needs to be on the list. Now, for those that are really into the health and fitness, their health comes a little higher on their list. And of course, it shows. So whenever you meet someone, you can tell if health is one of their priorities. They have more energy. They're just in better shape all around. And mentally, it affects everything we do. It affects our mental health, our physical health, and then all of that affects our financial health, because we're really not doing as well as we should be doing on the job when we're having health issues. So with that said, I want to invite everyone that is interested in what it is that I do to go to kathybenner.com, and you can certainly scroll down and check out the Fit as a Fiddle Plus. We have this free meetup once a month, and we're getting ready to launch our very own mastermind and course, which is in the works, hasn't launched yet, and that is in the works to get launched. So feel free to tap in and check out what we're doing. And Rita Brewer is my co-host on this particular call. And with that said, Rita, I'm actually going to click the little dots and make you the co-host.
Thank you.
And we always like to have a co-host in case one of us has a bad Wi-Fi and we get bumped off. There's more than one person that can let us back in the room. And so, Rita, I'm going to turn it over to you and share with the audience what it is that you do.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kathy. And thank you, Karin, for being here. We're excited to get to know you a little better. So my name is Rita Brewer. I've been a physician assistant for 32 years now, practicing many specialties of medicine and surgery all throughout the years, but developed a passion for preventative health and wellness probably a good 20 years ago now. And always try to integrate the two, find out how can I roll them together, because we don't do enough of that in our conventional medical realm. So my passion now, after so many years of seeing people with obesity and the chronic diseases that it caused and metabolically unhealthy, the rates of diabetes and obesity just continue to skyrocket. So I now have my own health coaching practice where I specialize in type 2 diabetes reversal, because most people don't know that this is a preventable and reversible condition. So I love working with clients one-on-one to help them reverse this, or at least get it in the best shape that they can possibly do or are willing to do, and transform their life. So that's what I do. I take one-on-one clients currently. My website is ritabrewer.com. You can find everything you need to know about me there, and all my social media links there, appointments and everything. So that is me. And Kathy, you're going to tell us a little bit about Karin first, and then she's going to take it away, right?
Well, I would like to. I don't have a bio for Karin. I have all of the things in a news article. But again, I think what was put into that article, I think Karin's going to share with us. And so I don't want to just read the article, but it sounds wonderful. So Karin, I'm going to ask you to just give us a little bit. What is your backstory? How did you get to where you are today?
Okay, so hi everybody. I'm Karin Nahmani. I'm a naturopathic doctor. That's what the degree I'm holding. But in the past 25 years, I'm doing colon hydrotherapy. That's my specialty. So I'm sorry about my language, but I'm taking shit out of people. That's my title. I'm cleaning people. I'm actually educating people to start looking inside versus the outside. As you mentioned before, health is wealth, but health starts in the gut. So what I'm doing in the past 24 years is I'm trying to break every taboo possible about gut health and the importance of gut health. As you mentioned, a lot of people are obese and there is a lot of disease out there, but people don't know that I want to say 72% of the actual disease we hear today, like colon cancer and depression, anxiety, psoriasis, constipation, chronic fatigue, they're all coming from the same spot, which is the colon. Our gut. Our gut is so important, but no one really pay attention to it. So yeah, that's my specialty, is to teach people to look at the different direction, to actually be tuned with their body, listen to their body, to every sign possible that can come from our gut. So that's my background. I'm a mother of 4. My clinic is in LA area. I'm working most with the entertainment business, but I'm working with everybody that needs my treatment. I'm very known in my practice, and my goal is to turn life upside down as term of health, as term of changing, do the actual change, release everything. And talking about release, I'm talking about physical release and emotional release, because at the end of the day, we're all working in the same thing. It's all get together to emotional, physical, and spiritual. So everything is all connected. So I'm connecting all the dots and releasing and teaching people how to look at life differently and how to just take the first step towards health. So yeah, that's what I do. And I love what I do.
Well, I wanted to ask, what actually brought you to a holistic lifestyle? Did something happen in your life? What was your aha moment that brought you to holistic lifestyle?
Wow, I had a lot of aha moment. I think from the moment I came to this world, I touched people. My background is more on hands-on. I used to teach massage. I love touching people. So I think all my life I just touch people and try to heal. My aha moment was volunteering in cancer facility, and we had a day, actually more than a day, that we needed to do to practice a naturopathic doctor, to actually give my hours there as far as massage, reflexology, hydrotherapy. And when I saw the smile on their face, and their face when they were releasing what is so trivial to all of us, to go to the restroom, but cancer patients with chemo sometimes are very backed up. I think that what I want to say, that was my aha moment, because right there I chose what it chose me, and I chose that. It was just magic. I mean, when I do it, I love it.
What were some of your challenges along the way of growing your practice?
Still have the challenge to break the taboo, to break every possible myth there is out there. I'm used to be stranger. I mean, this is not strange to me. I'm used to be different, and it's more challenging for me because I love the challenge. Every time they say no, I'm like, yes, it's good. So till today, I still have challenge. I must say that in the past 10 years, more and more people are talking about colonics and talking freely about constipation. My goal is to break it. I want people to talk about constipation and gut problem like anything else in life, and to understand that it's okay to go to the restroom, or it's okay to feel the way you feel, and not to be ashamed on it, not to hold it for so long, and then only when something happened to do something about it. So yeah, my challenge is to bring people to realize that preventive medicine is very important. To listen to our body is very important. To look at our stool is very important. That's my challenge, is to teach people to look at their shit, and understand what is it, what colors, what makes it so different. And when it's the time that we can get the signs, okay, go to the doctor, do something about it. Don't wait too long till it's going to turn into colon cancer. Yeah, educate people is very challenging. The other challenge I had, I wrote a book. It's called Shit is in a Dirty Word. And I must say, yeah, I know, it's funny.
I love the title. I love the title.
Yeah.
I know. And that's the challenge. Every PR company rejected
They rejected it.
Yeah, because of the title of the book. What brought me into even better passion and to actually break it even more, because like I said, I love challenge. So I'm going with what I believe. And to call the kid in the name, it's not a bad word. And I'm not trying to be politically correct, and that's what they don't understand. But if I'm going to tell you that 15 years ago no one talked about cancer, you're going to say, Karin, you're crazy. But it's true. People were ashamed. So I want to make that change. I want to make that revolution that people are going to talk shit all the time.
No, I get it. I understand. And again, it needs to be talked about because it's somewhat of an epidemic these days. I'm sure you realize that. I don't think the general public realizes it because it isn't something that they talk about, on an evening with friends. That topic doesn't generally come up. And they wait until they're sick. They wait until there's some serious issues and they go to the doctor and then they try to reverse it, and they could have prevented it so early, so much earlier.
Yeah.
So
I know. This is exactly the work we want to do. That's exactly what I'm aiming. I'm preaching everywhere I go. Soon I'm going to start to have talking event about colon, about educate people about gut health. This is the one subject no one wants to talk about it because no one wants to admit that it's dirty or something is wrong. And if I talked about emotional and spiritual, no one wants to make the connection that all our emotions are hiding there. Everything is so connected, and I wish that people are gonna release more, less anger. I mean, it's affect so much. People only knew.
Can you go deeper with that? So how does, well, first of all, I want you to answer how does emotional toxins get built up in the colon and how to release them. But before we do that, I just kind of want to back up because I know many people don't know what colonic therapy is or colon hydrotherapy. When people say I'm going to do a cleanse, they just think I'm drinking like drinks and stuff that are going to flush things through. So could you just, for our audience who does not know what colonic hydrotherapy is, just a basic rundown of what that treatment is and why somebody would do it, and what benefits you get from it?
Sure. So colonics is a deep cleanse of the colon. It can only happen with the therapist, with a special machine that runs water inside the colon and outside of the colon. It's happening in a close circle. So there is no touch, no odors, no nothing. But you get to see everything that comes out of you. So it's a little bit like a deep enema. That's going to be the best description of it. It's not painful, but it's definitely going to feel a little bit uncomfortable because you feel like, I mean, every time you release, you feel like you need to go. So, but you get used to that discomfort because we do it for 45 minutes. It's a 45 minutes actual procedure. The feeling afterwards, it's amazing because first of all, why we need it. Our colon is 5.7 feet long. That's hold a lot of toxins, waste, food, poison, gas. I mean, so many things. The average person will poop one time daily. I'm going to be nice. what needs to be done is every time we eat, we need to go to the restroom. So it's not happening on regular. And if we have constipation, that means that the food we ate 3 days ago still not even digest. So everything stays there. Think about it as a garbage disposal that never been clean. Everything is stuck. So your body will run. I mean, it's going to leave, but along the way, things will happen. So either you're going to suffer from chronic constipation, gas, fatigue, headaches, and then the pain's going to start. And then back pain will start. Then you go to the chiropractor and he's going to do an x-ray and he's going to tell you, hon, you're full of shit. And it happened a lot. Yeah. So.
And you can see that on x-ray, people, if people are wondering. Yeah.
Definitely. Most definitely. Now, as you know, hormonal system and the skin system, everything is connected. So if toxins are not coming outside, they will come as skin disease like psoriasis, like edema, like pimples, like acne. I mean, and the list goes on and on and on. PMS, like all the pain and pressure, same thing. The hormonal system is responsible to release all those endorphins, hormones. So the whole system is stuck. And if it's stuck, it doesn't work. So when it doesn't work, our body's unbalanced and then we feel like shit. That's really literally how we feel. We don't feel good, which brings me to the emotional part of it. If you don't feel good, imagine you have headaches, you don't have energy. That means you can't even get up. Or if you feel stuck in the meal because it's so bloated, you can't eat or drink or do anything. So again, you're fatigued. It's not fun to be like that. It doesn't last for more than 3 days. Then it becomes painful. Now, imagine if we're not releasing all those toxins, it lives for many years, 20, 30 years inside. And that's when it's a good platform for disease like colon cancer, like polyps, like diverticulitis, and again, the list go on and on. So that's why it's very important to clean. Colonics is a good method to actually perform a good cleanse. I highly recommend at least a couple of them for a very good cleanse. Unless you suffer from constipation, you're probably going to need more. Everything may vary. It depends on what's your situation. That's why there is questionnaire. A therapist is going to check you and then we'll perform. The other thing, and that's very different, is cleanses out there. There is tons of cleanses. I can give you a big list of cleanses. It's not going to clean really anything. And that's the mistake people have in their mind. They're drinking juice for 6-7 days and they think that their body is clean. They don't understand that you only lose water. Our body is made of 90% of water. So that's what you're going to lose the first. And then you feel clean. But the minute you eat something, you're going back to square one. So you don't really clean yourself. You just eliminate a little bit of toxins and just let your system pretty much to be, released. I highly recommend if you want to do colonic and you want to do some work before, just for 1 day, be on very light food, more liquid diet, so things can actually move smoother. But even if you don't do that, I still gonna clean you, whether you like it or not. Which brings me to the next step, emotion. Are you familiar with chakras, right? So the base, yeah.
Yes.
So the base chakra, which is the base is our stomach, is our colon area. And that's when everything is hiding. So when we say we have stomach ache because we're stressed, that's emotion. When we're in love and we feel those butterflies, same thing. It's from the same place. When we have our past, our colon goes like ascending, transverse, and descending colon is 3 parts. And each part talk about past, present, and changes. And a lot of the time we intend to hold emotion. We hold things. Hold equal constipation. So when we hold emotion, we constipate ourselves. When we release everything. So the release will happen automatically. It's not that I'm saying, oh, today we're going to clean emotion. No, it just happened. Because when you're laying on my table, you kind of giving me permission to go in, to touch you, to feel your feeling. You kind of like open to me as a therapist. And while you do that, when release happen, everything comes out. So you might have tears, you might have laugh, goosebumps, hot flashes. Those things can happen during session because you're releasing emotions, you're releasing blockages. Now, blockage not necessarily going to be just physical. It's going to be spiritual, emotional, and past life. So everything that affects us from childhood stay in our cone. The cone remember everything. Yeah. So that's why I love what I do, because I wish I would put my finger on one thing. It helps in so many fields that it's, it's fun to see how from one treatment to the other, people are like, wow, take a deep breath. How fun it is to, and I'm going to ask both of you, when you go to the restroom and you poop, but the good one, isn't that feel amazing?
Yeah, sure does.
You wanna scream shit. Yes, it feels like something left, like it feels good. So and I treat people as regular. I talk, I speak very, very simple. Also, when I wrote the book, I wrote it so people can actually relate and understand and make you think like, okay, yeah, it happened to me. Like it's reflection of what your everyday life. And that's the goal. The goal is to help people to actually feel normal, that you're just a part of the entire world. And when you take your car every 3 months to tune up and change some oils, so I'm gonna say, take your body, the one that you live in, abuse it with everything else in life, clean it, tune up that machine. That machine will stop in some point. It won't run on 100.
Yeah. Is there a lot of cramping involved during the treatment?
Not really. No. I mean, you feel okay when release happen, your colon will contract. So that's the cramp you're gonna feel. But the minute it start to leave, you're not gonna feel it. So you're gonna feel it up and down. It's really just to breathe. And it's very important that you choose a therapist that lead you through it and make you feel very confident and comfortable while you do the session. This is something I recommend to everybody, and everybody needs to ask all those questions like the license, what we use, FDA approval, things like that. That it's a good thing to see what the background of the therapist is.
How often should one actually get the procedure done?
When you start a session, I recommend between 3 to 6 sessions in probably 3 weeks. So either twice a week or once a week. It really depends on your time. But I have, clients that are getting ready to be on a movie, and they need the cleans from Monday to Friday, and they will come every day. So each case is very individual.
So who is a typical client? Well, besides celebrities, but is it people who have constipation problems, people who just care about preventative health? Is it cancer patients?
Everybody is candidate as far as customer. Everybody should. I mean, myself, I'm working with everybody. celeb or not, they're a human being. They have the same system. None of them is different than anybody. Everybody should clean their system at least once a year, if not once in a lifetime, but once a year. And I can tell you that more and more people are actually doing it, because colon cancer is on the rise. So you don't need to be sick to clean your system. You actually want to prevent prevent everything and start to clean it from age 17. I would start right then.
Now, I know the doctors are always sending folks for a colonoscopy. Is this a way to clean out the colon before a colonoscopy instead of drinking all of that chemical stuff?
This is amazing tool, amazing way. Personal, I do it a lot to my client that goes to do colonoscopy. They will come 4 days in advance. They will do at least 2 colonics to 3 colonics, and they're clean. They're really clean, better than sitting in the toilet for 24 hours. Let me just clear it. The doctor will give you also for colonoscopy. They're not looking for cleanse. They're just looking to clean the system a little bit so the camera can catch things. So basically, right, what they give you is either magnesium or laxatives. That's what a person takes, just for your knowledge.
And what is the solution that you use for the colonic?
It's only water. I only use pure water.
Tap water.
It's not tap. It's purified water that goes under 4 filters in ultraviolet. So it's
clean water.
Yep, we have to. Right, and I clean the machine before and after each client. So you're always gonna get 100% clean. And of course, I'm using disposable equipment, so nothing is gonna be touched or used before a client comes.
Cool.
This is so interesting to me because I have never talked to someone or a therapist that actually does this procedure, and I've often thought about it and wondered what it was all about. So this is very informative. So I love that we're talking with you. What is it that makes you mad about your industry? When you just look overall, what is it that makes you mad about where the world or society is at large when it comes to your industry?
Oh, there is a lot of things that make me mad. I will start with the first thing, that doctors are not God. So that puts things in perspective, that before internet, doctor would give you a word and you would believe it. Today, we have brain, you search, you have more knowledge. So yeah, doctors are not God. And what makes me mad is that holistic medicine, as I would call it, preventive medicine, holistic, herbalist, homeopathy, they were here before the medicine was here. So,
right.
Yeah, before conventional. And every medication is based on herbs first. They just add more chemicals to it, but it's based on the same herbs. It's frustrating me that we're here to complete. I see a person when it comes to me as a person. I listen to a person, and we forgot how to listen. When someone come and tell me I'm suffering from headache, I want to ask every question possible to find out what's the root, what started it all. But when I go to doctors, they will say, take. Not everybody, I must say. There is a lot of doctors today that actually learn the other side. Because, like I said before, they're not God. And I think the combination of both worlds will give the ultimate, treatment. Right. But I'm mad at the industry that works on insurance base. And unfortunately, I I wish Colonic would be under insurance. I don't see why not, but it's not. You're talking about $95 procedure that could help to so many, that could help in cancer patients, and I've seen it happen in reality. And it's not covered.
Yeah.
But poison that cost $1,000 will be covered. And that's make me mad.
Right. I agree with you 100%. Working in the conventional medical system for over 30 years.
It's just make me mad that instead of helping, we're reversing, and cleanses and juices that should be cheap, it shouldn't be expensive, become very high-end expensive.
Right.
And it shouldn't be like that. I'm sorry, it shouldn't.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And, we have a very pharmaceutical driven system. You make a diagnosis and you give a pill to go with it. But what doctors don't tell their patients, and that I like to spend with mine, is telling them that, all the prescription drugs that you take, and we see all the time that the average person may be taking anywhere from 6 to 10 or 12 prescription drugs every single day. And they don't realize that these are toxins. These are synthetic drugs that are toxins. Your body has to clear them from either your kidneys or your liver or a combination of both. So your body's always working so hard. It's working on our behalf all the time to clean and just and lift and just make it function on a cellular level in the best way it possibly can. So our bodies are having to work on overdrive. So think about your liver and your kidneys that are constantly having to clean out all these synthetic drugs every day. So I always try to talk to people about, okay, well, how long have you been on this drug? Like, why do you know why you're on it? Do you know why you're still on it after 5 years? Because that happens a lot too. They get prescribed a drug, especially like proton pump inhibitors for people with acid reflux. They're given out like candy, and then they never take them off. And it's terrible. They affect absorption of nutrients and digestion and everything. So people
talking about acid reflux, because this is a major problem, and a lot of people are coming to see me because of it. Colonics helps with that problem, and it's amazing how relieving that release so much. And it's not just that. Again, I'm not saying that Colonic will save the world, but cleansing with good eat and a little bit good exercise will do the job and actually do it pretty good. As I mentioned, I live in LA, and the industry here cares about health in general. But talking about what gets me mad is no one will question one question about any procedure done on their face or their nails or their hair, even though it can paralyze half of your face or do some damages later. Not even one question. But when it comes to the inner health, there is so many doubts. The doctors say, this one say, that one say, but no one really face it. And people care about more the outside, but the inside is rotten. The inside is gonna still stay the same. So you can do Botox and put your face from up and down and do whatever you want. But when it's stuck inside, and it's gonna show a minute after. So as my slogan always say, beauty comes from inside out, because there is always a glow. And I mean, you can look at me. I'm no makeup, no nothing, no Botox. I'm going to be 48 this year. I like to say that my skin is pretty good. Because I'm cleaning it. But you mentioned pharmaceutical drugs. The liver is full of toxins. And then what happens is that at the end, everything again goes to the colon. So whatever we do at the end goes to the colon. So very important to clean, to do something, even to eat clean, clean eat. The industry shove you so much sugar, so much dairy, so much shit. And then they expect you to take some medication to do the miracle. But people forget that there is no miracle. There is work to be done, to do work. But we live in this world that people want instant today to be, I had a client that came and she's like, oh, I need to lose 10 pounds. I'm like, well, if I was a magician, that would happen. It's not going to happen.
Well, I was going to ask what breaks your heart about the industry, but I think you've kind of shared that in what makes you mad. It's the same things that breaks your heart in this industry, that folks just need to be educated, and they need to actually hear what
education. That's exactly the reason I wrote my book. It was funny and not funny, but a year ago, my client came to me and said, Karin, there is no information out there. If it wasn't for my friend that told me about you, I would never hear about it. And I'm doing it for 24 years. And I said, you know what? Let me maybe write something. And she was like, you have to write it. And because when you come to me, it's not an ordinary treatment, because it's going to be funny, yet it's going to be a little bit not painful, but uncomfortable. But you will live with the feeling of clean, and I will help you in whatever method I have. And that's how I started my journey with the book. I never in my life imagined I will write a book, but it was my life story. And same thing I'm talking to you, I want to educate. Education is the key for everything. And I know personally more and more doctors are talking about gut health, because colonoscopy today is something that people talk about. A few years ago, not a lot, unless you're age 50. Today, they let you, I think, starting age 45, which is very important. I highly recommend to do it while you're getting to 45, 50. It's a lifesaver. But there is also the importance of supplements. Very important also to take the right supplement, not to buy everything they sell you, but the right one, the key one, like probiotics and the importance of them, the digestive enzymes, because those goes together as far as acid reflux, constipation, fatigue, bloating, and it goes on and on. So it's very important to educate people on what they're taking, why they need to stop what they're doing, to educate what to eat proper. And again, I'm not saying change your entire, cabinets, but just to rearrange your thing, use things you have at home, that I always tell them. Use what you have, rearrange it. Let's see how we can make it better. And you know what? And it's amazing. It's just small changes, not to aim to be perfect. I'm so tired of that perfection, as I would say. Like, people are only on juices and cleanses and going and coming, and they forget they taking painkillers. That's how it is. They're very clean. Yeah. It's like clean from one and
toxic from another, right?
Toxic from the other hand.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for balance, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something like, it's a good tip for life. In AKG, and probably you saw it a lot. As long as the line is going up and down, that means the body is alive. Things are working. And yes, it's not going to be perfect, but we can aim to 80% do good to our body. Perfection is when the AKG is one line, then all the systems are perfect, and we don't want to be there.
Karin, tell us a little bit. Are there some important lessons that you learned that you can share with us over the course of your career?
Yes, so very important is to listen to our body. The body gives us a lot of signs. We just intend to ignore it. We need to be in tune. If something happened more than 2 to 3 times in consistent, check it out. Don't wait. And another thing that I learned is that I better face off the truth, whatever it is, whatever you need to do as far as test, blood test, don't give up. Hear the truth and
you have a bad connection now, Karin.
I hope that it's never gonna happen.
Yeah, you're freezing up just a bit so often, Karin.
Third I learned is that
yeah, you're freezing up there, Karin.
Clean.
Yeah. Yeah. So while she's frozen, while we're trying to get a better connection, I thought I would just talk about just a couple of like the most important things that we can do to avoid constipation, because I think a lot of people don't even realize that they're constipated. Like when I ask my patients or clients, how often do you move their bowels? They'll be like, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And it's been that way for years. So they just think that's normal. So some of the simplest things, and probably the most common one I see, is people just don't drink enough water. We've got 22 feet of colon from our mouth all the way to the anus. It's just simple plumbing. You got to flush the pipes out. So we've got to drink the water. And most people don't get enough of that. So I would say try to work toward the goal of drinking half of your body weight in ounces of water. Or at least start with a minimum of 64 ounces and just keep your pipes flushed. Karin, you were frozen for a while.
Can you hear me?
We did hear you intermittently. You're coming and going. I was just talking about some basic things people can do to help avoid constipation while we were trying to get your connection back.
Now it's better?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. I was talking about the importance of hydration. A lot of times magnesium deficiency can cause constipation. People are just not eating clean, healthy food, like you mentioned before. Too much processed garbage, crap food, fast food, junk food, fried food. All that stuff is going to mess with your gut in every way. So plenty of fresh vegetables and getting your fiber. Those are just the basic foundational things. And then like Karin had mentioned earlier, the emotions. So we have to reduce our stress. We have to get good quality sleep, getting that in that rest and digest parasympathetic nervous system mode where our body can heal itself and calm down. So the colon has to relax and have good peristalsis. So the muscles in the wall of the whole intestine, they have muscles in there that help move things along. And that movement happens in that rest and digest phase. So stress reduction and good quality sleep are super important for that as well. So Karin, I think we got you back now. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And I'm gonna add to what you just said. This is the most important. If any of the audience will take even just that part, that would make a big difference.
Yep.
We need to do things with no regrets. Mm-hmm. That's the first key to release. No regrets for anything we did. If we decide to drink wine, drink wine. Tomorrow, don't drink it. If you decide to go out to dinner, enjoy that dinner, because beating ourselves for doing something that's worse than the actual food. So this is the best tip I can actually give everybody. Is like no regret.
Yeah.
Whatever we do in life, release it out of the system. Stop thinking about this person gonna feel if I'm gonna do them is literally a good release. That's a big part of a lot of things. Stop to hold things. Release emotions. Say what you have
We're still having trouble with the connection, but and we're kind of coming up on the top of the hour anyway. So please tell our audience how they can find you, where your office is located, or how should they reach you? Where can they find you?
So they can find in LA. The clinic is Pure Center, or they can go to our website, purecenter.com.
Okay.
I'm going to ask Clary to send you, or Eric to send you all the links we have on social media, Facebook, Instagram. We have a store. You can buy our product there. You can make appointments. We have a WhatsApp group. We have Amazon. I mean, there is so many things. I'll ask Eric to send you everything so you post it in your behalf, your end.
Great.
I will do that. Karin, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you, when we're all finished, I'm going to send you a copy of the recording. So please use it however you wish. And when I post it, we're going to post it across several channels. It will not only be on our Facebook group, it'll be in our meetup group. It'll also be in the Kathy Bennett International Academy for the replay. And we're also going to put it out as a podcast. And so it'll be on several channels there. And I will list all of your links. And I do have those. I have your website of purecenter.com. I also have your Instagram, and it's at Karina. Say your last name.
It's Karin Nahmani,
author. Yes, yes, because you have your book, so we can look up your book for you as well. And then you also have a blog, Health and Wellness.
Right.
Yes, so I'll put all of those links actually in there when I post, so folks can find you all those different ways.
Amazing. And I'll ask my guy to send you a link so your audience can have also a coupon of 10% off if they want to order some of our supplements. It's free shipping to everybody. So, I mean, here in America. So it was amazing and great talk to you. And I wish that our words going to go out, and I wish that we could touch someone out there. And yes, there is so much to talk about when it comes to gut health. This is just the tippy
yes.
tip of the ice.
All disease begins in the gut.
Karin, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you were on with us this evening. I loved hearing about what work and all the good things that you're doing. So thank you so much for being here. We'll definitely stay connected.
Thank you for having me.
And Rita,
thank you so much.
Thanks, Kathy.
Thank you,
Karin.
Thank you, Kathy. It was my pleasure. Thanks.
Thank you so much. And we will see everyone next time. And I'm going to hang in there. I'm going to stop the recording for just a moment.